Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Wade Foster Show. Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode, all about mobile phones and technology. Before I dive into the episode, though, I just want to say a big thank you to a lot of you guys listening. The podcast is growing in the last couple of weeks. I've been asking you guys to subscribe and share and kind of rate the podcast, and ratings going up, shows getting bigger, and I can see this on kind of our end from the analytics. So I really appreciate all of you taking the time to firstly listen to the podcast, but also review it, subscribe to it, as it helps grow the channel and it helps me promote the message of living a happier, healthier, less stressful, less chaotic life, and making health easier. That's really the goal, and it's kind of where we're going to tune in today with the phone. Looking at the phone now, the phone is phenomenal, right? What we can do now, I could nearly run my company from my phone if I wanted to. I do not want to, but I probably could. With a lot of you, with everything we've got on there, apps, notifications, and we can. I'll probably do another episode on maybe like optimizing the phone. For health. But today we're really going to be looking into why your phone may be one of your biggest obstacles when it comes to your health, your energy, and your performance, and like what to actually do about it. So firstly, like doing the research for this episode, there's some really interesting points that you find when you look into how much we use our phones and screens and stuff like that. So the average adult spends 7 hours a day on screens. Now, for context, that's more than the average person sleeps. So people are spending more of their day on looking at a screen than they are actually sleeping, actually recovering, which is a scary thought. This one is also crazy, and you can check this on your own phone. This is crazy. The average person checks their phone 96 times per day. That is roughly every 10 minutes during waking hours. And people on average spend nearly 3 hours per day just on social media. 3 hours of your day is spent on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it may be, whichever form of social media you use on average. Like, that is crazy. Like, that is crazy. And you can all look at this. Like, if you look at screen time on your phone, you go like settings, screen time, you can all look at this. But let's dive into this a bit deeper. Every interruption from a phone notification costs you roughly 23 minutes of recovery time to get back into like focus work. So every time phone call, email, notification, if you've got notifications on for apps, that's fucking crazy. But it takes you 23 minutes to get back into a flow state, back into a regular state. Like, for an executive, for you guys listening who are high performers, like, that's crazy. If any of you, I don't know how much you guys track your hourly worth or like what you kind of cost. Like, if any of you are, worth hundreds or thousands of pounds an hour, like, that's not just a health issue. That's a productivity and financial issue where your attention is taking 23 minutes to get back on time. Like, you'd never tolerate a financial advisor who was kind of losing you money every single day. But that's exactly what unmanaged screen time is doing to your cognitive capacity. And also happiness. And this is where like we could go to so many different avenues with this podcast. So I'm going to try and cover as many as I can, but be practical and actionable for you. But what is all this screen time actually doing like to your body from a health perspective? So doom scrolling, one of the worst things you can do. Endlessly consuming negative news, outrage content, comparison posts, It completely activates your fight or flight response which your body uses to detect real threats. I've spoken about this a lot. Our fight or flight response is there for that particular reason. Fight or flight. Our stress response is there for that particular reason. Think about saber-toothed tiger. Right, fight or flight. Either can I kill it or can I run? How can I improve my chances of survival in this instant? So in modern day times, like each negative headline, each little trigger just gives you a cortisol spike. And then that, in effect, trickles down, stops every other hormonal profile from being optimal. So the problem with the phone is it delivers these threats endlessly because so many things trigger you. So your stress system never switches off. And then you're trying to go back to focus work or time with your family or the gym or whatever it may be. And your body's in the wrong state. It's in a state of fight or flight because you've just been triggered or something. Nothing is a strong word, Wade. The smartest people on planet Earth, much smarter than you and I, are spending their day figuring out how to keep you on these apps. And it's this clickbait content. It is controversial content. That is what keeps us going on it. Be it if you're left, if you're right, if you're like pro this, anti this, pro that. Like all content, all news is curated to keep us on it. Jordan Davies, a country singer, is one of my favourite singers. And he has a song called If Good News Sold. And it's basically, if good news sold, the world would be a happier place. 100%. Like you never see a positive news story, or you rarely see a positive news story, but we're all captivated by it. So bring this back onto stress. Like for you guys, and I speak to so many high performers, executives, like you're under so much chronic stress from work, let alone family, let alone all this other stuff. Why are you choosing to add fuel to the fire? That is such a counterproductive tool, right? Like, it just makes no sense. I'm already stressed. I'm already doing weird things. You know what I'm going to do with my free time? Get more agitated, get more stressed, right? Elevated cortisol blunts a lot of hormonal pathways. So what it does is it drives up belly fat storage, right? If you feel that and I had this conversation a lot, I work out, I do all these things, but I can't get rid of the gut. Stress related. What are you doing in your life that is obviously helping mitigate stress? Elevated cortisol disrupts sleep. It kills recovery. It tanks your energy. So much of this just comes from your phone. We then start looking at when are you on your screen time. So many people take their phone to bed. Late night scrolling suppresses melatonin through blue light exposure, through cortisol, all delaying not only sleep onset, but the quality of sleep onset. So beyond blue light, consuming this stressful media is overly stimulating, which leaving your brain kind of hyper amped. Like if you're in bed and you're supposed to be going to sleep and tired, but you're scrolling on whatever, right? Reading articles or watching videos, whatever it may be, you're getting in this hyper aroused state, the state of being switched on or agitated or whatever, or fight or flight. None of those things are going to help you sleep, are going to help you recover. So why are we doing it? Why are you scrolling in bed? Why are you getting yourself agitated, fight or flight switched on, when we're in a state of, I need to be recovering, I need to be relaxing, I need to be sleeping? And this is where I love things like Aura or trackers, because we can actually show you like, wow, like you were in bed for 4 hours, or 4 hours is a massive overstatement. You were in bed for an hour or 90 minutes scrolling on your phone before you fell asleep. And then when you fell asleep, it took you 4 hours to get into a recovery state of sleep because of how stimulated you were before you went to bed. And this is another problem a lot of people have with sleep. Like, oh, you can sleep because you're exhausted, but you're not actually recovering while you sleep. And this is where data can be so important. We then want to look at your attention profile when it comes to these phones. When there was a study done recently, 2025, PNAS Nexus study. Basically, when participants blocked mobile internet, the internet for just 2 weeks, their sustained attention improved by an amount equivalent to reversing roughly 10 years of age-related decline. So we all know as we get older, our brain is going to deteriorate. Having no internet for 2 weeks improved people's cognitive attention from what 10 years of cognitive decline would do. That is incredible. And their screen time dropped by 50%. Like, when I was researching this, and even when I'm telling you guys this, it just is so mesmerizing to why we spend so much time on these devices. Like the amount of like depression or issues that all these devices, all these apps, and all this attention to like give the human race is absolutely incredible. Like, if I told you there was a single intervention that could make you sharper, happier, perform better, and it cost you nothing, would you do it? Get rid of social media. Like, you'll be happier for it. And as I touched on, the smartest people in the world are trying to keep you on the apps. So social media is engineered to exploit your brain's reward cycle. So basically dopamine, right? It creates this dopamine pattern of bright cut. And this is where, and the smartest people in the world, the content creators, they're trying to get you to stay on this app, right? Like, depending on what your algorithm's based on, your algorithm's based on stuff that you like, stuff that you watch, and it keeps feeding you these things. And your willpower won't last. Discipline won't last. The apps are designed, so the people creating the apps, the people creating content are doing everything they can to keep you on there because that's how they make money. Willpower and discipline will not just work. We have to come up with systems. And that's what I'm going to do kind of today, is walk you through how I would optimize your phone or your time and stuff like that. And why I bring this up is I always find it interesting, like the phone. When I started my company, when I transitioned into kind of executive health and executive health advisory rather than purely weight loss, I really didn't think the phone would be an issue. I was like, no, these guys are executives. Like, there's no way 50-year-old men are spending this amount of time on their phone or doing this stuff. So one of the most common things I've got to talk about is like, show me your screen time. One time we had a guy who was a lawyer, spent 3 hours a day on Candy Crush. Like, fucking hell. Like, doom scrolling on TikTok as a 50-year-old man. What are you doing? Like, how is that your downtime? How is that? Like, we are on Earth for a finite amount of time, right? It's, I think, 4,000 weeks on average is kind of what we look like. And you're spending 2, 3, 4 hours a day on social media rather than with family, doing hobbies, doing something fun, learning, growing. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, ask yourself honestly, for the last hour of your day today, how much did you spend of it on your phone? How much of the time on your phone actually moved your life, your health forward? And how much of it was just scrolling? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So now let's get into some practical advice. Let's get into what do we need to do. I'm all about systems. I'm all about systems. Systems make the world go round. Systems make life easier. So before you do anything, audit before you act. Before changing anything, know where you currently stand. So check your screen time. If you're on an iPhone, if you are on an Android, I believe it's called digital well-being. Look at your daily average. How much time are you spending on your phone? And which apps are eating into the most time? Obviously, take out any work-related apps if you guys are on Slack or anything like that. But look at the other apps, right? Social media, YouTube, games, that type of stuff. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. You can't manage what you do not measure. So take a screenshot of your last week, your last month, or what your averages are. Okay, so we know where you're at and you can use it as accountability. Next step, create phone-free zones or times of your day. My two favorite, the first hour of the day, last hour of the day. First hour of the day should be a no phone zone. This protects your cortisol awakening response, lets you start your day proactively instead of reactively. Like if you wake up, and this happens so often, the first thing you do is check work emails, check the news, check social media. Well done, fight or flight mode the second you woke up. Like imagine this. Imagine this. Like you wake up in the morning, open your eyes. A new day has started. You are alive for another day. You woke up and you go, take that deep breath. I'm alive. Right, let me look at my phone. Fuck this work email. Fuck this. Oh my God, what's going on in the world with this war or with the markets? Fuck, someone on social media has just made me feel bad, whatever it may be. Like, why on earth are you doing that first thing in the morning? Like, why on earth would that you're an intelligent human being. Why'd you go, that's a really good idea, right? I'm going to wake up and the first thing I'm going to do is get pissed off or annoyed at the world because of what's going on. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. My favorite topics is proactive versus reactiveness. Proactiveness is doing things you want to do, right? So a proactive morning, get up and do what you want to do, right? Now there's things that are going to help your health, which you've already done episodes on morning routines, but getting some activity in, getting hydrated, getting outside, spending time with your kids, your loved one, your partner, right? Being organized, going to the gym, doing exercise, whatever it may be, rather than, fuck, I've got to do this, fuck, I've got to do this. And pay attention to it. Pay attention to, are you being proactive or are you being reactive? So the first hour of your day should be phone free. If you feel that with work, you cannot make it the first hour of your day, I would fucking argue against it. But make it first 30 minutes. The next time, the last hour of your day, phone goes on charge in a different room. It is not at your bedside table. But wait, it's my alarm clock. Buy a fucking alarm clock from Amazon, right? Like they're $5, right? Like phone does not go in the bedroom. You have two activities in a bedroom, sleep and sex. That's what it's for, right? So the hour before bed, no phone. Oh, but I like to read. Get a book, right? Get a book. Get rid of that phone. Get rid of that blue light. Get rid of that stress response. This will dramatically improve your sleep quality, your happiness, and your energy. Another one which I have struggled with in my life, right? This one I find difficult, but a really, really good time to create a phone-free zone. Meal times. If you're eating, no phone. I don't want to hear or see of people kind of eating like with a fork in a bowl and then watching a video on their phone or doom scrolling. No phones or tablets at the table, no phones or tablets when you're eating. This is about recovery, presence, or relationships. Who are you at the dinner table with? Be it work colleagues, be it friends, be it families. Like all things that matter for long-term well-being is communication. We want to digest our food well. We're not in a rush to get the food down, right? I know I'm English, but 99% of this audience is American. But take it from Mediterranean Europe, so not England, but like your Italians, your French. Long lunches, long dinners with good company, and like they're the blue zones people. They're the happiest and longest living people in the world. Let's take some knowledge from them, right? Slow down your meal times, no phones. So the next strategy is then using app blockers. And this is powerful because willpower and discipline only go so far. And we don't want to rely on willpower and discipline. So you can use the screen time app on your phone, but there are also other apps that are beneficial. There's One Sec, which like forces a pause and a breathing exercise before opening distracting apps. Like brilliant for breaking the autopilot of I'm on my phone, let me just click Twitter or X or Instagram, whatever it may be. You then get there's an app called Freedom, which block apps and websites across your devices simultaneously, so you can schedule focus sessions or deep work sessions. You then get Screen Zen, which lets you set daily limits on specific apps, and when you hit a limit, the app is locked. You get Opal, which is the one that I use, which shows you your triggers and usage patterns with deep analytics, as well as kind of the blocking stuff. So there's a good few ones out there that you can use. Download one, put one in to block certain apps. Also make a decision whether you want to be on certain things. So me personally, I used to run my business through Instagram and Facebook for a decade. I'm now not on either. I do not have Instagram. I do not have Facebook. Because even though I ran my company from them, I didn't feel they added value to my life in any other aspect. It took time away from my life rather than adding value to my life. So I got rid of them. Right? Transition to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a much more difficult platform to doom scroll on. Like a lot of the content on there, especially in the world that I'm in, don't really care about a lot of the content on LinkedIn. Like, doesn't really faze me that much. So I'm not doom scrolling on LinkedIn. Never had a TikTok account. YouTube, I only use on my laptop, so I can't get stuck on Reels. Don't have Instagram, don't have Facebook. I think don't have X. X was a tough one because I like X. But you go down minefield, so you just had to delete, right? So ask yourself, do you need to be in any of these? Next, if you are going to stick on them, do an information diet. Unfollow or mute anything that isn't adding value to you. Do certain accounts create anxiety or stress? Block them. Get rid of them, mute them, just get rid of them, right? For me, I was spending a lot of time, used to spend a lot of time on news outlets. I was like, okay, what's going on in the world today? I'm like, that's such a waste of my time. None of it's relevant to me, right? Really, right? Like, yes, everything may eventually trickle down, but in the moment, that news story isn't relevant to me. It's not. Like, my investment strategy is dollar cost average. I don't live in a big metropolitan city. Now, some of you may be different. Some news stuff could be different. But like I was like, really analyze your life going, is me checking the news every day really that important? For some of you, career, 100% it might be, right? If you are in finance, the markets, 100%. But if not, do you need it? So really, really curate your information, right? Have an information diet. Then maybe consider if you do need news once a day, right? Morning or evening, once a day, read the news stories. Oof. Next thing, and this is one of the biggest things that I highly recommend, and I laugh about it because I've done this for about 10 years, and I actually am surprised when I see people's phones or if I'm out with lunch with people and like their notifications go off. I've not had notifications on my phone for 10 years, not any form of notification. So social media, any app, any WhatsApp, text, anyone tries to communicate with me, I do not get notified until I open up that app. I also run a business. So we use Slack. I get no Slack notifications, right? Now I'm on my laptop and I'll do different things there. But from my phone is not a distraction in my life. So turn off as many notifications as you can. You can also turn notifications off on apps like texting, apart from a handful of people. So your kids, your parents can, like, that notification can pop up, but everyone else's doesn't. Certain, maybe your boss or whatever it may be. You can have certain people that can get through, but you can block everyone else. All do that. All do that. Then what we need to do, we've done all this. So you're going to spend, let's just say you dedicate half an hour to an hour to optimizing your phone, right? Turning off notifications, deleting apps or using blockers, unfollowing people, etc. You spend that. Now what do we need to do? This is interesting. You've got to replace, we don't just remove. So the gap that we have created by taking away these bad apps or this phone time, let's replace it with good things, positive things. Fun, health, relationships, right? We've now got maybe an hour, 2, 3 hours back in your day. Well, that could be a gym session. That could be a nice walk. That could be spending quality time with your kids, playing a game with your kids, spending quality time with your spouse, rekindling the relationship, just doing something simple like playing a game, a card game, board game. Could be picking up a hobby. When was the last time you learned something new? When's the last time you did something fun? You're not removing something from your life. You're upgrading what you do with your most valuable resource, your time and your attention. Don't give your time and your attention to random people on the internet, to random companies who are trying to grab it. Create your time like the high performer that you are. You only get one life. Your most valuable asset is your time and your attention. Ensure it's going to the right things for you to live your best life possible. This isn't about anti-technology. I use social media. My business runs on it. I think social media can be good, but only when it's intentionally being used. And we need to be intentional about our attention and our time. So I urge you all, some point this week, ideally some point this day, don't just listen to this podcast going, wait, that was great information, and do nothing with it, right? Set time aside today, optimize your phone, optimize your attention, and do things that you want to do. Upgrade where your attention goes. And I'll catch you next week. Peace.